Hi everyone, welcome to a brand new studio vlog, and in this vlog I am going to be taking you in the time machine a little bit because I've been teasing for a little while that I had a video all about packing my biggest ever wholesale order. It was between 5,000 and 6,000 items, absolutely crazy. I still can't believe it, and it took a bit of time to put all that together, and what I wanted to do is kind of save that up, and rather than show it week by week in between other things, I wanted to just do a dedicated video showing the process of getting an order that big out of the door. I've watched it back this morning while I've been doing some editing, and it's been really fun to watch it back and see the ups and downs of the journey of getting it out the door, and I hope you enjoy it too. And at the end of the video I'll be sharing my thoughts on what went well and what I could have improved, and kind of my tips for doing bigger wholesale orders alongside trying to manage the rest of your small business, because obviously you can't just down tools and focus on this one thing and let everything else drop while you do just one order. So yeah, it's a fun video. But before I do that, I was going to save this for next week's video. However, I didn't want to wait any longer before sharing this with you, and that is about how my email marketing has been going. If you saw a video 3 or 4 weeks ago now, I talked about why I was going to be focusing on email marketing, and so someone might be a follower of yours. They might have followed you because they want to actually see your content, they want to hear from you, they want to know what's coming up, what's new, what deals you've got, but they might not even see it. And I'm realising more and more that that's where email marketing is so beneficial. And so if you haven't seen that video, I will leave it in the description for you, because I talk all about why email marketing is so important and why I'm going to be focusing on it moving forward. And then I showed the process of switching from my old email marketing platform, Klaviyo, to Omnisend. And this is where I need to thank Omnisend for sponsoring this portion of the video. But regardless of it being sponsored, I have really good results to show you. Now, I've been making sure I send out one email a week, which has an update on what's been happening behind the scenes, as well as links to products on my website. Obviously, I've launched my wildflower collection, and so there's been promotion about that, and I've been thinking about different ways I can write about the products and present the products to keep it interesting for people, because people are more likely to read it. But something I also did was set up some of the automations. Now, there are loads of automations you can set up with Omnisend, meaning that you kind of set them up once and you say what you want to trigger that specific email, and they then send it for you. So for example, when someone signs up to my newsletter, I've written 3 emails that get sent to them over the course of the first week. And so it'll send the first one within 10 minutes, and then a few days, another one, a few days, another one. And so I don't have to do anything with that. I just set it up once and Omnisend does it for me. And I've also set up other things, such as if people leave an item in their cart, it'll send an email asking them if they want to look at the items again, offering kind of incentives to go back if people have been looking at an item. And I've only really scratched the surface of the automations that you can set up with Omnisend. Let me take you over to the computer and show you the results that it's already generated. So this is what I see when I log into Omnisend. And if I go to Overview and change this so it is the last 30 days, these figures blow my mind. So you can see up here, it shows you straight away what revenue you generated from your Omnisend emails. And in the last 30 days, I've generated £801.90 from my Omnisend. I barely generated anything from email marketing in the past, so I had to refresh this page quite a few times to convince myself this was true. But what I find really interesting is £389 of that was from my email campaigns, but £412 of that was from the automations that I set up. So more than half of that money came from automations that I set up once, and then Omnisend did the work for me, which, like, what else can you ask for? If you're not on my email list, there will be a link in the description if you want to sign up, and you will get a special offer straight to your inbox. Now, if I click on reports, you can see here it breaks it down by emails. So these are all the emails I've sent. Now, it's unsurprising to me that a big chunk came from the new collection launch email. But interestingly, a lot of people went back into their Wildflower pre-launch email to click through, which is really, really interesting. So they had that, they knew it was going live, and they clicked through from there, ready for the products to go live at the time of the launch. And so a big chunk came from there too, which is really good to see. But if we go onto workflows, so this is the automations that I've set up, and it shows you how many have been sent and where the sales were generated. So my welcome emails have generated the most amount of sales and the most sales value, and more than half the people are opening them. It's quite a good click-through rate. And so you can see here the first email sent 1 minute after the customer signs up, and then there's another 2 welcome emails in that flow. These are my 3 welcome emails. They've all got quite a decent open rate. Unsurprisingly, the first email has the highest revenue generation because that has a discount code in it. But the other 2 do too. The third one's got a reminder of the discount code and that it's going to expire. So obviously it's creating that sense of urgency. And so clearly this is working, and it does just make me think, what other automations could I set up? So this is where you would set up your automations at the top. I can't even really believe the results that it's generated already. Being able to see that clear as day is encouraging me to want to use it more and more, because I can see the evidence there that it is working and that I'm getting that return on the time I'm putting in to set things up or kind of send those weekly emails. But particularly the automations, when you only have to set them up once and it does all the work for you, it's a no-brainer. So I am definitely going to be looking into what other automations I can be setting up with Omnisend. But something that I want to do this week is set up an email about a particular product. So as part of my Wildflower collection, I released this tumbler, and I actually thought my glass tumbler was going to be the more popular one, but this one has been super popular. It starts this way around. It says, "It's amazing what can happen if you choose to believe in yourself." I've got loads of matching items in the shop, and you can put hot and cold drinks in here, and I only have 1 left, and then I'm sold out, and I'm waiting for more to come so I can make more up. And so I was sitting here earlier today and I thought, I wonder if there's a way that I can put a little email box on that product page to say, notify me when this is back in stock. So I Googled it, how do you do this? And then I suddenly had a thought, I wonder if you can do it with Omnisend. And you can. So Omnisend have all these amazing help articles that walk you through different things step by step. I found it in the help section, and we're going to go and set it up now and see how easy it is to do. Okay, so I'm just going to get my instructions set up on one side of the screen and my main Omnisend window in the other, and we're going to see how easy this is to do. So at the top, I'm going to go to forms, and I want to create a new form. So I want it to be an embedded form, and you can see down here there's already a back in stock branded form. So if I click on that, and then I can just edit it to my branding. So if you click on audience, you can see that it's going to add a tag on here to show that they have come through this back in stock form. And it just means you can quickly find them easier because those contacts will have this tag on their profile, and you can search and filter by that and send an email just to those people. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And then if you click on targeting, you can see that you can choose for it to appear on pages for all out of stock products. So I'm going to do that. I only have the 1 product out of stock at the minute, but if it can appear by itself on other out of stock products when they go out of stock, that's amazing. It's 1 less job for me to do. And then you can see here that it says contacts will be collected as non-subscribers. So basically, when people are filling in this form, they're not agreeing to sign up to your email list. They're only agreeing to be notified about this particular product. So that's why it is going to collect it as a contact, but a non-subscriber to your newsletter. What I would quite like to do is add in another option. I'm going to see if I can, after they've done this, ask them if they also want to subscribe to my newsletter. Aha. So I've dragged down this legal consent box here and just popped it on my form. And it's put a tick box underneath where it says, keep me up to date on news and offers. For more information on how we process your data for marketing communication, check our privacy policy. It automatically links to my privacy policy. I haven't got to do that. And so basically, this allows me to add that extra step where people can opt to be a subscriber rather than just to be notified when this item is back in stock. So it's great to have that option there. I'm also going to add in a form for the first name, because I always like to ask for the first name so that I can personalize emails. I just think it's much more friendly. So people add their first name, their email, keep me updated on news and offers, and notify me. And then if you click success at the bottom, this is what it will then show on the screen to show them that everything's been submitted. So if I enable it, wants me to add this code to my website. So I'm going to copy it. Where does it want me to add it? So I'm going to skip the next couple of steps. We'll come back to them. I'm going to go down to embedding the form. And it says, if you want to embed the form, make sure you use the embedded back in stock form, which I did. And then it says you can copy the embed code, which we've just done, and paste it into the appropriate location on your website. I'm a Shopify store, so let's go to the dedicated guide. And let's follow these instructions. So if I open my Shopify admin, it wants me to go to online store, themes, and customize. I think I probably need to put this on the product page. So I've got one product template. It's just bringing up an example product. I sort of want it in here. Aha. There. So when I hovered under my product information, I got a little plus. You click add block and you can tick custom liquid there, and it lets you put it in this section in the product information. So if I put it under the quantity where it would say sold out, then it's going to appear in here if it's out of stock. So let's save it and go to the website and see if that actually works. So if I go to my website, I'll find my Tumblr. Oh, okay. So it did pop up. It took just 1 second, but it's popped up. So I now have a section that's popped up here saying notify me when back in stock, because the sold out button is grayed out. I think that's a perfect place for it to pop up. So that's amazing. Let me just check another page to make sure it doesn't pop up on random pages where I do have items in stock. Yeah, that's fine. So it's only popping up on items that are out of stock. How easy was that? Okay, so then if we go back to see what sections I missed, it says go to your store and check something that's currently out of stock. Yes, it works as I want it to. So set up the back in stock automation. So now that you can collect contacts who want to get notified when a specific product is back in stock, you'll need a workflow to let them know. So if we go to the automations library and create a workflow, we should see one that says back in stock. Yes, we have. This is so exciting. So if I go to customize, this is what it looks like when you set up an automation. So it will tell you at the top what triggers it. So workflow starts when you restock products that shoppers signed up to be notified about. It triggers product back in stock. And then this is the email that gets sent. Guess what's back in stock? You asked, we listened, the item you wanted is now back in stock. Fab. And then you can edit the content. So if I edit it, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to make it a nice yellow background. And it says, the wait is over. That sold out item you wanted is now back in stock. The product will automatically be pulled through here from Shopify. You haven't got to do anything. The name will be pulled through, the description, the price, and shop now. Done. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to keep it as it is. I have a little footer that I like to pop in at the bottom, and I'll maybe put my social media handles in there underneath. If I click on it, you can choose what you want to display. So I don't have an X account. I would like to show my YouTube. These are all things that are already saved
in the back end of OmniSend, so I don't need to type them in every time. And that's that email done. I'm going to leave this as it is for now and see how it does. So I'm going to click Finish Editing. And then you could add more steps if you wanted to. I'm just going to leave that workflow there. So I'm going to click Start Workflow, and that is now live. And so we're going to leave that and see how it does.
So that is all set up. And again, it was so easy to follow the instructions. I didn't have any problems this time, but if I did, I would have used the live chat again because I used that last time and they responded to me straight away and they were super, super helpful. But now that's all set up, it's another way to make sure I'm not losing customers because a product's gone out of stock. OmniSend can manage that for me and make sure that I'm capturing a group of people that I can then send a targeted email to when that product comes back in stock, because I know that they're interested in purchasing it. And I think that's another great thing about email marketing is you can be very specific and target a particular segment of your audience. And so having a list of people that wanted to buy this particular product but couldn't is very specific and more likely to convert from that email into sales if I send something specific, maybe with an incentive. So when I get these back in stock, that's what I'm going to do and we'll see the results. I'm continuing to work with OmniSend and I met them recently. You will have seen that in last week's vlog, and we had a great chat about different ways you can utilize email marketing for your business. And there's still a great big list of things that I want to look into. So I'm really committing to testing different things out and reporting back to you on how they're going. And I would really encourage you to try OmniSend for yourself and see if you can get similar results, because I'm actually really surprised how easy it's been, because I've just never gelled with an email marketing platform before, and it's meant that I've got in a bit of a rut with it. I've stopped using it. I've not been consistent, but this has been so easy that it's meant that I'm doing it on a consistent basis and the results are just showing for themselves. And something that I really love about the way OmniSend supports small businesses is that you can start out and try them for free. So if you have up to 250 contacts on your email list, you can use a free plan and just see how you get on with them. I'd love it if you click the link in the description below to let them know that I sent you. And then the more I can work with OmniSend, the more I can pass on all this fabulous information and tips to you, which I'm so excited to do. So this is how you would click the link and sign up if you were interested.
So this is last week's video, and there is a link in the description to OmniSend, and you'll find the same link in this week's video. If you click this link here, try OmniSend for free, it will take you through to their homepage and you can click Start Free. And it will take you to this page. The easiest thing to do if you have a Shopify account is sign up with Shopify, and it will link up your Shopify store to your OmniSend straight off the bat. But you can also log in with these other accounts, and it will take you through step by step, which I actually showed the process of in my previous video where I mentioned OmniSend, which I will link down below so you can see me set everything up step by step. You can see here up at the top, if you click pricing, these are their different price plans. And like I said, you can start for absolutely nothing and just try it out if you have up to 250 contacts a month, and that is sending 500 emails a month. They have a standard plan for 500 contacts or more and a pro plan for 2,500 contacts or more. And so your OmniSend can grow as your business grows. And all the plans feature the live chat 24/7 customer support that I mentioned, all those beautiful email templates, the pre-built workflows that I've shown you, pop-ups, sign-up forms, and so on. So it really is an amazing way to try easy email marketing. Easy email marketing is a phrase I never thought I would say.
So a massive thank you to OmniSend for sponsoring this portion of the video. I am now going to take you back in the time machine to the beginning of this big wholesale order. It's the beginning of June. The wildflower collection hasn't even been designed. Stationery Fest isn't that far away, but I can't even think about it yet because there's too many other things to do. And it's right at the beginning of the journey of thinking, oh my goodness, I have got a couple of weeks to get this wholesale order out of the door. What am I going to do? So I hope you enjoy watching this journey as much as I enjoyed watching it back, and I'll see you at the end for those tips. Today, I really need to get started on my big wholesale order. So if you saw my vlog a few weeks ago, I revealed that I'd had a big order from a Japanese company, and it's the biggest order by a long way that I've ever received. And as I am filming this, it is the 1st of June, and I have approximately 2 weeks to get everything packed up and ready to go. Most of the products have arrived. I am just waiting for the last batch of some pins, and all the packaging has arrived too. So there are no more excuses. I need to start packing these items, and I think my approach is going to be to do like a batch every day. But I have no idea at this point how long it's going to take me to do like a certain amount. So I have pins, notepads and stickers in this order. I'm going to start with the pins because I think they're going to take me the longest to put on the backing cards. And if I do a batch of say 100, then I can time how long it's going to take me to do 100 and then figure out then a plan of how much time I need to schedule in per day to get this done, and we might need to call in some reinforcements. So that's my plan. It is a Saturday, and I just thought that I would spend a couple of hours today seeing how many pins I could get done in that time, and then I have a bit more of an idea. But I would rather say spend 3 hours a day on this than have whole days where I get nothing else done, because I'm also trying to work on my wildflower collection, so I can't just completely down tools. However, there might be some days where I end up having to do that, but my plan first is that I've been running my huge clearance sale, and all the stuff for the clearance sale is on my middle island, and I just want to relocate what stock I've got left onto my stock shelves so that I can use this middle island for packing and be able to keep coming back to it without it like being all over my packing area or all over my desk. So I am super grateful that I've got that flexible space in the middle of my office to be able to work on a project kind of on and off. So first things first, I need to clear that space, so let's do that. Okay, so past me counted out a lot of the pins and boxed them and just left myself with a small supply for orders whilst some more were being done. And I wrote on a post-it for each box how many of them I had counted. So I'm going to start with the self-doubt remover pins. I need 204. I'd already counted out 150. So of the ones that's come, I just need another 54. So we'll count those. And then the rest are for orders. So the first thing I'm going to do, which is a big enough job in itself, is unwrap them all and take all the backings off the pins. So it is 20 to 3 now, so I'm going to time how long that takes for 204, because they're all the same, although the bigger ones have 2 rubber backings, not 1, but we'll see. So let's see how we go. Okay, that took 40 minutes. That's not bad. And everything's prepared, ready to put on the backing card. So everything's unwrapped, and I've got 2 trays of pins, and then the little backing rubber stoppers are all in this tray. So what I can do now is put them all on the backing cards. That's not bad. I do need to get one of those things I've seen people use that they like slide it in and it pulls the rubber backings off, because number one, it's ruining my manicure. You probably won't see that, but it's ruining the end. And just doing that many, like pulling the back off, it's just putting pressure on my nails and it hurts a bit. So I will look into that. But let's start putting them on the backing card. So my plan is, I've got blocks of polystyrene that I use to put them on the backing cards, and I can do about 8 small ones or like 4 big ones in terms of the size of the backing cards. I do wish I had a bigger block of polystyrene. I might ask my husband if there's anything in the garage like that he's waiting to take to the tip that I could actually commandeer for this purpose, because it's going to be a bit slow going. And then when I'm putting the rubber stops back on, that's when I'm going to check the quality, like give them a final check and separate out any seconds, and then I'm going to obviously count those and replace them, and then do a final count to make sure I've got 204. So that's my strategy. So let's have a go at the next step. So I just decided to add it up. If I can fit 8 on this block, I will have to do this 26 times to get them all done, which doesn't feel that bad, but we'll see. Okay, so we have 1 full tray, that's 70 pins. So I need to do just under another 2 of these. And this took me 25 minutes. So within another hour, hopefully I will have done it, but let's see. I did it! So that was 1 hour 50 and I did 204. So I think, let me write that down before I forget. My cute little Tunesic pen, if you saw my Korean stationery haul. So small pins, 1 hour 50. Or maybe just call it 2 hours. And during that time, I did stop, get a drink, answer a couple of messages. Like, I wasn't just full pace panic. So I think if I call it 2 hours, that's good. But I think for the bigger pins where it's 2 rubber backings, I'm gonna have to say 3 hours, because I've got twice the amount of backings to take off and then twice the amount to put back on. So if I add an extra hour, I'm thinking that will account for it. So what I am gonna do now is make a little schedule for myself of, like, if it was just me doing the packaging, when am I gonna do all these items? And then if I can get some willing volunteers, that will obviously speed it up for me. And then the only other thing I need to do is decide how I'm packing them. I did order some boxes because I thought it'd be good to have, like, all same size and shape, but they're a bit flimsy, so I don't really want to use them for like big amounts of stuff, and especially going such long distance. So I need to have a think about that as well. I think especially for the notebooks that are heavy, the pins I'm not as worried about in terms of like, for example, when my notepads have actually arrived, one of the boxes had split and it's quite a thick box, but it's also a heavy box when people are lugging it around. Thankfully, the notepads are fine, but I just don't want to risk, you know, that stock getting damaged. So I really want to find some sturdy boxes, and perhaps multiple smaller boxes would be better than great big boxes. But anyway, that's a job for another day. Let's make a plan. So, I've estimated with my little notepad that it's going to take me 34 hours, minus the oh no, I've just done that wrong, minus the 2 I've already done, not the 3 I've already done. So minus the 2 I've already done, I'm going to divide that by 3. Let's say I did 3 hours a day, then that's 10.6. So let's say 11 days at 3 hours a day. And I think that like 3 hour chunks is doable, or like 2 hours and an hour, but like a lot in 3 hours a day. However, I don't want to do 7 days a week. So I'm going to schedule these blocks in my calendar as if just I am doing it. And I'm going to say which products I'm doing in which block. But I know that I already have my husband and my mum lined up to help. So it isn't just going to be me doing it. But I am going to schedule it in as if it's like just me, a worst case scenario. And then I'll be able to just like move those extra blocks back as I tick extra things off, if that makes sense. But it also gives me a buffer. I'm hoping that makes sense. So I'm gonna put it in my Notion now. Yeah, as I was doing those pins, I was flitting between feeling like, oh yeah, this is totally doable, and then feeling like, what on earth have you done? So, but if I've got it in my calendar, I've got a plan, then I can schedule my other tasks around it, and I know how long, like how much of each day I've got left to work on other things, if that makes sense, because this has got to go out. So let's get to scheduling. I opened up the project that I'd set up for this order in Notion, and I put a new task to prepare each individual product on the order. Once I'd written out that list, I have a little duration column in my Notion that helps me estimate how long a task will take and how long to leave for it. And so I adjusted those based on what type of product it was and how long I thought it would take me to prepare. And then I highlighted all of them and just put the next week's Monday date in there so that they would all show up on a particular day in my calendar. And then from there, I found it easiest to open the Notion calendar app. If you haven't tried this before, I definitely recommend giving it a try because it really helps with scheduling your tasks. It's a lot easier to use and it can pull in things from your other calendars. And I basically dragged the tasks down into the relevant days where I wanted them, set the durations, and it then meant that my Notion tasks for this project were showing up at particular dates and times in my calendar, so I'd get reminders to do them on each day, and I could kind of see them alongside other appointments and structure my day. If you want me to do any videos on how I use the Notion and Notion calendar app together, let me know in the comments and I'll look into doing that for you. So it's all in my calendar, and I'm not going to lie, it does feel quite overwhelming, but it's not doable, if that makes sense. And I know that I'm going to have help come in that will help. Hello bird, that will help condense those times. So something I would just quickly like to check is my system for labelling up the stickers. Now, what I normally do is put a sticker on the back of the sticker, which has my logo, my website, the price, But what I thought I would do to speed it up and also save money over time is get some self-inking stamps. So I've got two, one for the standard stickers that are £1.50 and one for the name special effects stickers like the hollow and the glitter, which are £2. And I haven't checked them yet, so I want to make sure that the stamps are okay, number one, and that they work on the material of the back of the stickers for number two, because obviously if they don't, I don't want to come across this problem too late to resolve it. So let's open them and have a look, which is exciting because I've never had a custom stamp before. Okay, so these are my stamps that I got. The brand is Shiny. So let's have a look. Oh, there it is. However, it is stuck wonky onto the plate, if you can see, which I'm not very impressed with because then it's harder to line up, if that makes sense. Can you see what I mean? So I'm going to have to account for that. I might contact them. I'm not very happy about that. That's the one for standard stickers, I can see. It does come with a little like card that you can stamp on and put in there so you know which is which I will do once I've tested them properly. So presumably this is my £2 one, which is straighter but not straight. So yeah, £2. So let's get a scrap bit of paper and test them. Ooh. Ooh. What's up with that? So this one, you can see it's super clear. How cute is that? So I just used the black and white version of my logo, my website underneath, and then the price. This one, I don't know why it's not coming out very saturated black like this one. You can change the ink pads, but that's not the point. It is new. I feel like I work at the post office. I mean, this is actually fine looking at it. It's not like you can't read it and it's not dark enough. It's just not as saturated as that one. So it might be that I just need a new ink pad quicker on this one, which is a bit annoying because this is new. So I think they cost me about £20 each. But obviously I'm hoping that they'll last me a long time and that they will outweigh the cost of the stickers that I was getting printed. Plus, like, having to get the sticker, then pick up the sheet of price stickers, peel that off, put that down, pick up a sticker, stick it on, blah blah blah. Like, it's a lot of faffing. I'm hoping with this I can just junk, if that makes sense. But we'll see if that's the case. So let's just test it on a couple of stickers. So this is one of my standard stickers. So they're stamped on the back. I mean, yeah, the only thing that's annoying me is it is a little bit wonky. I'm going to have to remember which way to twist it to fix it. And then this one, like, this is one of my glitter stickers. This would be £2. Yeah, it's more space than you think. So yeah, can you see the difference in that? On this one, the ink is obviously, the pad's very inky, and on this one it isn't. But I think it's fine. And now what I'm going to do is just leave these to dry and check that they do actually dry on these paper backings. It is paper, not like a plastic, so that's why I think it'll be fine. And then I do have some matte stickers, which might be slightly different. Let me check. So yeah, my matte stickers, which are currently just the typewriter ones on this order, are matte. It's a different sticker paper, so I am just going to check it. Whoa. I am going to have to get the hang of this. I'm sure I'll speed up as I go, but so if I twist it to the left slightly, then it is more straight. I need to get better at lining them up with my perfectionism kicking in, but I think this is going to be a much better solution for pricing them for shops for wholesale than, I'll show you my stickers before because I have got some left and I am going to use them until I've run out, but I'm not going to do half and half on this order. I'm just going to do all the stamps. And also just for speed, but they were like this, and as you can see the text is very small. So it says Sunshine Lane, positivity in every creation, the website, and then £1.50. I don't have any £2 ones, so yeah, I wasn't that impressed with how they came out. They could have done with being bigger, but I haven't got that much room, whereas this I feel is a better use of the space, and I've been able to blow everything up to a bigger size. And I've just got rid of the tagline positivity in every creation because it just means squashing everything. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Good morning everyone. It is Monday the 3rd of June, and as you can hear, I have gotten ill since I last spoke to you on Saturday. So Saturday I had a bit of a tickly throat, took a bit of a preventative Lemsip, nothing was really happening. And then Sunday I woke up and felt like I'd swallowed a golf ball, and I got progressively more ill as the day went on. So I didn't do anything yesterday, so it's good that I didn't schedule anything for my Notion for yesterday, isn't it? This has obviously come at a bad time, but we adjust and we carry on. So today on my schedule was meant to be 2 hours of mini pins and 1 hour of notepads. I don't want to stand up and do pins. I've just stood up and done some orders and my legs feel like jelly. So what I would like to do instead is label up the special effects stickers because they have arrived this morning from Sticker It. So I have my 3 lots of stickers here ready to open. I might even be lucky, it says this one's got some spares in it, spares 40. Okay, so we've got self-doubt remover with the glitter in the cream section at the top, like a silver glitter. Then we've got the, whoa, I'm all fingers and thumbs today. We've got the Stay Positive battery with the pink glitter. And then we've got the holographic on the medication is self-care. They turned out super cute. So in terms of stickers, they've ordered 300 of every design. Let me double check that because my brain today is not working. What am I looking for? Oh yeah. Yeah, 300 stickers. So I thought I can at least get 2 designs done because I've scheduled an hour to do each type of sticker. I'd scheduled an hour in my plan to do each design of sticker, so what I thought is I could at least get 2 batches done in the time that I would have allocated to do the 1 day at a time pins today and just swap things around, because then I could just sit at my desk and just stamp while I've got some vlogs on and then have a bit of a rest before going back to today's other jobs. Yeah, it's not a great time in this. Funnily enough, my husband's been ill for 2 weeks, and so we kind of thought that if I was going to get ill, I would have gotten ill before now, but we are where we are, so let's chill for a bit and stamp some stickers. So I've done it, but unfortunately it did take longer than planned because one of the designs, there were a lot of problems with the stickers. There's over 100 that are ripped and I need to contact the manufacturer. I'm just having the worst luck at the minute. So I'll show you what I mean. They're all in the same place. So this part of the design can you see that like that is ripped back? So along there, the white edge of the sticker and the black line of the container is like ripped back, and they're all a variation on that. So I've got this whole tub full of seconds, so there weren't enough to do the order. So yeah, I need to contact the manufacturer, but I'll show you what I have done. So they're all just in tubs at the moment, but these are the 300 Medication is Self-Care. There you go, you can see the rainbows now a little bit better. I've got 300 of the Stay Positive batteries, and I've just put a little note in here to say this is only 230 of the self-doubt removers, and I need 70 more. And then there was an overspill that I ordered just to top up my stock, and I don't have those, so we'll contact the manufacturer. Hi everyone, so it is now Friday the 7th of June, and you're gonna have to excuse the red nose and the croaky voice because I'm still not feeling very good, and things haven't been going spectacularly well on this order, if I'm honest. I'll tell you what I have done. I've unwrapped and counted and checked all the notepads ready to put the belly bands on them. I have organised the replacement of those stickers that were ripped. I've also organised the replacement of some other stickers that came that were printed incorrectly. I'm having the worst luck at the minute. And I've put another 204 pins on their backing cards, and I've also counted all the stickers ready to be stamped. However, when I went to stamp the standard effect stickers, I quickly realised that my manufacturer has changed their sticker paper and the ink doesn't dry. So I left it for 24 hours and it was still wet. I tried blotting it, it just will not dry. The sticker paper on the back is has like a slight sheen to it, and it just won't dry. So that plan has gone out the window. So then I had the idea that instead of paying to have stickers produced, what I would do is get some labels for my thermal label printer and print them on there, because I don't have to pay for ink on there. I can print them really, really quickly, and I've just done little labels that are the same size as the design of the stamp. And me and my husband are going to go through tonight and sticker up all these stickers. So let me show you the labels. So they're just running off the label printer exactly the same as if we'd have done the stamp on a label, basically, which originally I thought I would do, and then I thought, no, that's going to take forever, whereas this took about 20 seconds to do 300. So right now I am going to print the rest of these labels, and then after some dinner we are going to sticker up all these stickers. The stickers are all done, they're all in this box, so they're all in their packages, ready to go. I just recycled plastic packaging that had already been sent. I've got a box full that I just reuse so that it doesn't go to waste. And then all I've got to do now is package the stickers that I did originally with the stamps. And then I've had replacements come for these ones that were ripped, so I've got 70 more of them to do, and then the stickers can finally be packaged up. But today I'm going to do notepads. It's Sunday today, and I just need to get ahead before the week, so I'll show you what I've got going on. So I decided to just bring in one type of notebook at a time over here, just for space. So these are all the brain dump notepads. This is 100. So I've got 4 different notepads on the order, 100 of each, and I need to just put their belly bands on them with a little glue dot. So I've got my belly bands. I'm just going to do one at a time, belly band them up, and then package them straight into boxes. And then I can take the boxes back out of here, ready to go. So I'm hoping I can do a couple of chunks, get 400 done today, all 400, and then I've only got the pins to do this week because this is my final week. So on the Sunday, they need to be done by really Thursday. So my mum's coming over in a little bit to help with the notepads, which is nice. So I've got my second helper on standby, and we're just going to have a little catch up while we do it. So let's get started. So while I'm doing the notepads, we've got Operations Manager Alison over here in the pin zone. How's it going?
Hi. All good. I'm into a good rhythm now.
There you go, there you go. Nothing like a bit of repetitive work on a Sunday afternoon.
I like it because you don't have to think about anything.
There you go, bit of meditative pin removal. So I've got Mum doing unwrapping the pins and taking the backings off with our new contraption. Let's do a demo of the contraption.
So here it is, this little natty little contraption. So I've got the pin with the yellow backing rubber stoppers on the back. So all you do is you place the rubber stoppers on the inside, and then you just slide it down and off they come.
You should have been on Blue Peter.
Simple as that. I'll do you another one. There we go. Look how quick it is.
And then what do you do when they're full?
When this is full, I tip it into here. I've already filled one container over here. This is how quick and hard I'm working. So there we go. I've just emptied it, so you can get quite a few in there. But there we go.
Morning everyone and happy Monday. It is Monday the 4th of June and it is, that can't be right. Oh, help me. It's Monday the 10th of June and we are on the final stretch. This needs to be ready by the end of the week and we've made a lot of progress. So yesterday, after my mum went, I carried on with the notepads and I did all 400 notepads. Half of them are boxed, half of them are ready to be boxed. I've been in the studio this morning and I've boxed up the pins that I did, and when I do the next batch I'll show you how I'm packing them, but I found a way to kind of layer them in the boxes so that I don't have to use plastic for those because I haven't got enough recycled, it's just extra plastic, etc. So I'm layering them, they're nice and secure, it's actually better because they're not going to scratch on each other, so it's wonderful. And now I am going to be carrying on this morning with putting pins on backing cards. Now the good news is I had a delivery and I have this big piece of polystyrene now, which is fab, because with the larger backing cards, the old piece of polystyrene I was using when I was putting them on, I could only fit 4 of these on, and so it was a lot of messing about. I can fit 24 on this big one, so I've only got to do 3, 4, 8, 9 lots, and I'll have done 204 pins, like not even 9 full ones. So look at that for maths. Don't know what day it is, but I can do quick maths. So I'm going to be doing that. This pin contraption that my mum handily demoed really sped things up, and she took the backs off all the bullshit repellent pins, all the mascara pins, and some of the unapologetically me pins. So that's all pre-done, and all I've got to do is put them on the backing card, so that's a huge help. So I have everything separated out, ready to go. Let's do some mascara pins. So I've done all 204 mascara pins. So I'm going to start a new box for packing those, because in the other box I started packing, which is just over there out of, you can see the edge of it. Those are the pins on the square backing cards, and I think if I keep all them together in one box, how I'm packing them, it'll fit really nicely. And then I'll start another box for these ones with the slightly longer ones with the rectangular backing cards. So let's grab a box and we'll start packing these ones, because I'm going to have to pack as I go so that I've got more space to do more pins. That is good. We have done, it's filled about half the box, and that is all the mascara pins. And yeah, it's just a really easy way to layer them in without the metal and enamel sides touching each other and rubbing against each other, and it means that they're not all in plastic, so win-win. one of my favourite pins. It's one of the Self-Care Cosmetics pins, and it's one of my favourites because it's a hinged pin. So it's a little eyeshadow palette with glittery eyeshadows, and there's like 4 things inside. The names of the colours are Joy, Energy, Calm and Hope. And it's got this teeny little applicator, and the idea with it being the pick me up palette is you would like take what you need for the day. So yeah, it's a really special one. So I decided to work on these this morning. And also because they take up the most space, with it being a hinged pin. It's essentially like the thickness of 2 pins, because that's what it is really. It's 2 pins hinged together. So we're doing those, and I'm about halfway through, and it's 11:22, so not bad. Morning, it is Thursday and the day is upon us. It is the last day of packing. I mean, it should be. So yeah, last night I got everything sorted. Here I am, just working away. Got everything sorted, and the last thing to do is the last 2 lot of pins. I emailed the retailer back last night and said that I would have all the weights of the boxes, the measurements, all that info this afternoon. Did have a little bit of a lie-in, and then I went down to my mum's to get the pins and got gossiping, and it's now 22:11, so I'm going to have to speed run these pins because it did say early afternoon, so that was a bit of a mistake. But I was so exhausted. I've really had to dig deep today to peel myself out of bed and carry on because I'm quite achy and tired, but we're going to do this, and I've got the adrenaline that this is like the final push, so let's go. I'm going to do the pants pins first because they take longer, because they're just a bit more fiddly to put on the backing cards and get them in the right position. That's another thing I've learned through this process, whereas the shredder ones just need to go vaguely in the middle. It's not quite as precise, so that'll be a kind of quick last push, so let's do this. is 12 o'clock and I have just finished the pants pins, so I'm going to get them in the box and then I've just got the shredder to do. But I love the positive pants pins. Look at those. Time to pop on your positive pants. That's what I need now. Last one, let's go. We've got the negative thoughts shredder pin. This is the last pin. Let's put the backings on. I can't, I feel like having a big cry. I mean, the job isn't done yet, but shred those negative thoughts because I have done it all. I'm so excited. Boop. So let's get them in the box. I've never been more excited to put things in a box. Let's do this. Can you believe I have done it? I am so excited. I feel a little bit lost, like, what do I do now? But there is plenty to do. But I think just when you get to the end of such a big project, it's a weird feeling. We're not quite at the end. I've just sat and emailed the customer because they're handling shipping. So I've sent them the number of boxes, the sizes, the weights, the collection address, when I'm going to be available for the collection to be done. It may be too late for tomorrow now. It'd be wonderful if it was tomorrow because then by the weekend, like, it'd be out the door and just, yeah, done. But it may be on Monday, but either way is fine. What I'm going to do is go away and have a real good think about how I've done this project and like what I could improve on, what went well, what could be better, what didn't really work. And yeah, just what I've learned from it. And then when I've done that, I'll come back and I'll share that with you because I think that's a really important part of doing these big projects that sometimes gets missed because now I'm thinking, right, on with the Wildflower collection, Stationery Fest coming up. We've done that next, but we need to learn from things, don't we? So yeah, and that's what this channel's all about. So I'm going to just sort of mull it over for a few days, make some notes, and then I'll come back and I'll share what I've learned with you. See you then. Hi everyone, we are now in mid-July, so this order has been and gone. My Wildflower collection's been launched, Stationery Fest has happened, so I'm over that chunk of busy time, and throughout that I've really had time to give it some proper thought about this order and what it was like to put it together and what went well and what I would have done differently. I wanted to have a little chat to you about it. It was an amazing feeling to get it out the door, and then that was probably the most nerve-wracking bit, to be honest, was waiting to see if it had arrived okay. It only took about 4 days to get through customs and to get there, which is crazy really, isn't it, when you think like Royal Mail often takes longer than that within the UK. But anyway, they were really happy when everything arrived, and it was good to have that kind of dialogue afterwards and just check things had arrived okay and yeah, keep the communication going. And then it was obviously reassurance for me that everything was okay and I could breathe a sigh of relief and it hadn't got lost and I didn't have to do it all again. So in terms of things that went well, I think the way I broke it down and planned it was really good. I think it's really good to time yourself doing certain tasks and use that as the basis of your plan, because when you just try and pluck a number out of the air, quite often it's quite inaccurate. So the fact that I timed myself doing a block of pins meant that I could actually use that as a realistic estimate for how long things would take me, and planning blocks in my diary that I'd be able to get the job done in. I also always like doing like tasks together, so being able to do a bunch of pins, being able to kind of leave that workstation out. I know that's not always possible, but it just sped things up. I had a little bit of a production line going and it made it quite efficient. Being able to just take all the backs off the pins in one go, for example, then put them all on the cards in one go, then pack them all in one go. It just made things a lot easier rather than stopping and starting with different tasks. And having a flexible plan was really good. So the calendar I put together in Notion at the beginning of the video, that was a godsend, because as you will have seen, not everything went to plan and I had to restructure when I did things because I was kind of trying to find solutions for not stamping the stickers and things like that, and because I got ill and what I was able to do on certain days wasn't as I'd planned it. Like within a couple of days of doing the plan, I just felt rotten. So being able to just have those blocks of time that I knew were for specific products and just drag them around in my calendar just made it so easy to make sure that I could swap things and still be on track for the whole project, rather than just thinking, oh, I'll do that another day, and then not really factoring in other things and then realising I was running out of available hours to do the stuff in. I could still see what hours I would have left on any given day because there were other projects running in the background. And I think that was the other good thing, was allocating myself a number of hours a day, and then whether I did it all together or I split it into two, it meant that I could do other things around it and still progress this project quite quickly, because you can't just down tools on everything else when you're running a business, being a human, all the other things that go in your personal life. You can't just do that. Other things have to be running alongside. And so just having this routine of, right, I'm doing my 3 hours today, or my 2 and 1, or my 1.5, whatever I decided, it just allowed me to slot other things in around it. So that was all really good. I'm definitely glad I factored myself in some buffer time. And I would say something to bear in mind is having a plan B and possibly C, D, E, etc. Because, yeah, how I thought certain things would go with, for example, the stickers, I devised this system where it was going to be super quick with the stamping, and I did the special effects stickers in no time at all. And then when it came to the standard stickers, the test I'd already done with the stickers from that manufacturer was perfect. And then lo and behold, they've obviously changed their sticker paper, and the new ones, it wouldn't work at all. So then I had to swap everything round. I had to have a new system. And I think you've just got to go into it thinking that's the way things are going to be. I think that's common when you're running a small business. Just being proactive and thinking, right, what can I do instead, is a really good thing. And I think off the back of that, something that I would consider for future is kind of time versus cost. So one of the reasons I bought the stamps was because I thought this is going to cut down on time and money. Brilliant. However, it didn't end up working. But for example, the pins on the backing cards, that was a big undertaking to get all those pins on those backing cards. I like the fact that I print my backing cards in the UK and I package them here. I like that as a system. However, if I was to start getting orders like this more, then I would probably consider whether that's something I could ask my manufacturer to do, and whether I would source them from the same place and get them delivered on the backing cards, because it might cost me obviously a little bit more, but then the number of hours I spent doing this meant that it delayed me on designing products, getting ready for Stationery Fest, marketing and selling my products. Like, what income am I missing out on while I'm stood there putting thousands of pins on backing cards? It's one of those where you've got to kind of weigh it up. And obviously, if I was to get more of these types of orders, or just bigger orders than my standard, not necessarily this scale, then perhaps it's something I would think about. And obviously, you've got to weigh that up against the cost of hiring someone else to do it. It's like, yeah, there's always a bit of a tipping point where you think, okay, I can't be the person that does this anymore. And sometimes it's just worth asking just getting the quote. I'd be interested. I've not asked. I'd be interested to know what that cost would be. It's always just worth knowing what options are out there for you. But as for now, I'm going to keep it as it is and I'm going to do it myself. The other thing I would say is, like, it's a big mental undertaking, and if you're not careful, it can feel really overwhelming. And this is where I actually enjoyed the maths, because I was kind of breaking it down into, you know, by product, and then I was breaking it down into how many backing cards can I fit on this bit of polystyrene, so like what's one batch of doing that, and then how many of those have I got to do to like fulfill that full amount of products. I'm breaking it down like that. Like, it just didn't seem so bad when I was saying, oh, okay, I've got to just do 7 lots of cards on this polystyrene block and then we're done for that product. Just mentally made it easier to get through than thinking, oh my god, I've still got however many thousand products left to package. We don't think about that. We just go day by day, block by block in my calendar, and then break it down into kind of batches and then done. It just didn't feel like such a big undertaking, which that might work for you, it might not work for you, but it suits my brain to think of things like that. Now, there were 2 things that I would have done differently. So I knew that the customer was handling the shipping and that they were going to send me the documents for the shipping, and I assumed that that would include the commercial invoice with the customs information that you have to send alongside the shipping label when things are going overseas, and that wasn't the case. And I was then clamouring at the last minute, knowing that the courier was on the way, trying to make sure I did it all correctly and didn't rush it and then it got stopped at customs. In the future, I would like break it down and just clarify whose responsibility is what in terms of that, because they'd kind of said, yeah, we'll handle all the shipping. And so I had kind of meshed them 2 together in my head and thought, oh great, I don't need to do any of that. So that was a bit of a mad rush and a bit of a kind of anxiety at the end, that I would just clarify the details to a finer point. And then the other thing was, I would take photos of the products before they go, take photos of them going into the boxes, like out of the boxes and then in the boxes, because although the customer was happy when they received everything, they were actually a middleman and it got sent on to the end customer. And then when it got to the end customer, they said that the belly bands on 100 of the notepads all had dirty marks on the back. I don't know how this happened, but I am like 99% sure it didn't happen here. I didn't see anything when it was going in the boxes, but you just can't prove it and you just don't know. And at the end of the day, it wasn't worth me kicking up a fuss over. I ordered more belly bands and they shipped them out, so I just had to pay for the cost of printing them and getting them shipped here, and then they handled the forward shipping. But that could have been avoided if I'd have just taken photos of the quality of the items when they left me as like an extra insurance, because when you're talking about such big quantities of items, that's another risk that I hadn't really factored in. To me, it wasn't worth damaging a relationship over. I can just get some new belly bands, let's not argue it. But it was kind of a lesson for the future of, that's an extra way you can kind of protect yourself in terms of what the kind of state of the items as they're leaving you. So that's maybe a tip and something that I will do in the future. So as I'm filming this, I'm actually getting ready to go to another trade show, and that's what next week's vlog will be all about. It'll be about preparing for my 2nd ever trade show, and so I've really changed up the way I'm approaching my displays and things, and just taking on that feedback that I received at the last show. I have 2 videos about my experience at my first trade show that I'll link in the description if you're interested, and it was off the back of that I got this big order, and I'm so grateful. And fingers crossed this next trade show will produce some lovely orders. I'm not expecting them to be as big as this one, but you just never know, do you? So I'm going into it positive and hopeful and optimistic, hoping that I get over the lingering cold that I've got because I've been ill again, and I just want to put my best foot forward. So I hope you'll come back and follow me on this journey of me trying to grow my small business. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video. It really helps push it out to people who have been enjoying these videos as well and have been finding my channel as a result, which is really, really lovely. And if you reach this point of the video, could you leave a parcel box to represent all the lovely boxes of items that I managed to send out in this order to let me know you reached the end. I always like to see who's reached the end, and I've been loving replying to your comments each week when I see who's like got to the end of the video. It's been really lovely. Until the next one, take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye.